So far we've explored how the government and developers are working together to attract the right kind of investor to the region. But it's not all about hard work and industry here in Iskander. This area is surrounded by tropical mangrove swamps, rich in biodiversity and home to a number of endangered species. The swamps are internationally recognised as valuable wetlands, and with plans on the table to turn the area surrounding Iskander into an ecotourism destination, the developers are painfully aware of the potential impact that a project like this can have on the environment. Work hard, play hard. It's the modern way. And for investors looking to Iskander as a base for their international operations in Asia, knowing they're buying into a sustainable development that will provide their workers with attractive living conditions is just as important as knowing the right infrastructure is in place.
Part of the attraction of Iskander will be a living place. Yeah? It's for people. We have to attract good people. We have to attract talents. We have to attract the investor as well.
At the heart of plans to satisfy this criteria is the creation of a new city and government administrative centre, Nusa Jaya. Its centrepiece will be a man-made lagoon linking the narrow strait that separates Malaysia from Singapore. And towards the end of last year, Limitless, the developers of the iconic Palm Jumeirah in Dubai, signed a joint venture agreement to develop luxury residential properties on Iskander's waterfront site. But any development on this scale needs to be tightly controlled, especially in a region of such outstanding natural beauty and ecological significance, or there's a risk that the indigenous wildlife could pay a hefty price. To combat this, the developer has erected a set of filters to sift out soil and debris before the water from the building site enters the straits, and does extensive testing to make sure water in the lagoon meets strict quality standards.
We are becoming a model with regards to doing this sort of projects, where we have complied with all the environmental issues, and at the same time also we also have our own setup, our own lab, situated on site to measure the quality of the water.
We want to capitalize on nature as part of the development, and there will be a bit of challenge here because sometimes it's always seen that development and environment do not go hand in hand. As much as possible, we will take initiative to make sure that the environment not only will be preserved, but we will try to enhance it.
As well as providing first-class living conditions, it's important that the area is accessible, especially for those commuting from across the water in Singapore. To this end, the two countries have formed a working group to look at ways of improving transport links, and one option being considered, which was recently announced by Singapore's Ministry of Transport, is to run its MRT network directly into Johor. Whilst initiatives like this are obviously good for the investors, the positive impact of this project has far-reaching effects. Once a fishing settlement, Gilang Petar, in the heart of the Iskander development region, has grown rapidly over the years into a modern township. Development here has greatly improved the business opportunities for local traders, and with more projects set to be announced by the government soon, there is every expectation that the quality of life here will only get better. One such project has seen a special fund, initially of around $15 million, set up to help address social problems within the Iskander region. The IDR Social Projects Fund will be used to improve housing, provide training and social welfare, and subsidise preschooling for the poor.
There are a number of initiatives that we will be taking. Firstly, the cleaning or managing the river basin. So as you can, we are already suffering from some pollution right now, and now there is a budget that we have that we will do and revitalizing and rehabilitating the rivers.
Drifting peacefully through the mangrove swamps, it's hard to imagine the massive amount of industrial strength work going on just a few kilometres away. It's this peace and tranquility that the government hopes will attract not just the businesses, but the tourism dollar too. Malaysia is believed to have lost around half its mangroves over the last 40 years, and it's imperative that the work going on in Iskandar doesn't add to that statistic, not only to preserve the area's ecological wealth, but also to tap into its economic potential. If there's been a real success story so far here in Iskandar, it has to be the port of Tanjung Pelepas, located on the eastern mouth of the Pulai River in southwestern Johor. This award-winning port has experienced remarkable growth since it opened in 1999, attracting some of the biggest names in the shipping industry and quickly establishing itself as Malaysia's largest port. Nearly 3.5 kilometres of linear quay. The latest high-tech infrastructure capable of handling a throughput of 8 million 20-foot equivalent units of containers. And one of the largest free trade zones in Asia. Tanjung Pelepas set a world record at its launch as the fastest growing port, with 1 million units of containers handled after 571 days of operations.
We started in year 2000, October 2000. And at that point of time, we were handling about 418,000 TEUs. In year 2007, end of December, we have handled 5.5 million TEUs. It has been more than tenfold increase.
This accelerated growth hinges on the port's proximity to the busy shipping lanes on which the Port of Singapore built its growth and sustainability for nearly 2 centuries. In the few years it's been in operation, it's struck deals with the 2 largest shipping firms in the world, with Maersk's parent company, AP Moller Group, acquiring a 30% share in the operation at the turn of the century. As well as being strategically located for access to global markets, the free trade zone here in PTP is garnering international attention. To date, it's attracted $926 million in investments, and the number of new customers into the zone doubled last year.
We need to have new talent, people with new expertise who are coming to join our operation here. And having a conducive environment for these people to come in definitely would be a big plus.
And it's not just foreign investors that are taking advantage of the facilities. Malaysian company JB Coco has been operating out of PTP since 2000.
Because of our export business, and our customer is in America, in Russia, and everyone wants fast. So that is a key challenge, and PTP provides such a fast connection and delivery time to all over the world. So that is one of the challenges we have.
Already thriving and with room to grow, PTP stands up as an example of how the Iskandar development should unfold in the years ahead. It's the size, coupled with the aim to create a modern, progressive and flexible environment in which to work, live and play, that promises to set a benchmark for special economic zones throughout Asia, as this region continues to grow in importance on the global economic stage. Well, I'm afraid that's all we've got time for today. I hope you've enjoyed exploring the Iskandar region with me. We'll be coming back here in the not too distant future to see how this story develops. In the meantime, thank you for watching Global Investor. Goodbye.